Hi everyone, welcome to this month's EVO eNews. I'm John Clare.
And I'm Dave O'Brien.
We hope everyone out there is doing well. We have a few interesting items to cover today and have invited some of our EVO friends to join in the fun. First, we're going to touch on inflation. And since we just passed the annual tax filing deadline, we're going to talk a little about tax planning for 2022. Also, I wanted to let you know that we'll be holding a special Medicare awareness session here at the EVO office on May 26th. Featuring our friend and Medicare expert Brian Gay. More on that a little bit later. First, given all the news about inflation these days, we want to share a few thoughts. Dave?
Thanks, John. We want to take a moment to acknowledge the high inflation we've been seeing and feeling over the past several months. While this has been some years in the making, and some indicators showed we could expect higher than normal inflation, nothing quite prepares you for how it feels when it arrives. The headlines are kind of alarming. Last month, U.S. inflation rate spiked to the highest increase since December of 1981. The Commerce Department's basket of consumer products was 8.5% more expensive in March than it was a year ago. Now, half of that increase, of course, came at the gas pump, the aftermath of the energy disruptions associated with Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Since then, gas prices have come down a bit, and there's no good reason to imagine that the pain at the pump is permanent. We've taken steps to position our portfolios the best we can, and our long-term plans have always included higher than average inflation rates over the past few years, specifically for times like this. It always stings a little to see the higher bill at the grocery store or at the gas pump, but rest assured, we're here for you during this time to review your long-term plan, and remember, inflation is not here permanently. So now I'm going to turn this over to our EVO lead advisor, Stephen Fletcher, to talk a little about taxes. Stephen?
Thanks, Dave. If you're like most Americans, tax day is around the time that everyone asks the question, what's the damage? A lot of taxpayers dread having to make a payment to the IRS or their state and hope to find out that they'll be getting a refund, and a lot of times hope for a big refund. But what's the ideal outcome? A refund that is large is actually an interest-free loan to the federal government. All it means is that you have not gotten to enjoy your own money all throughout the year. Conversely, having to make a payment that is too large can result in extra interest and penalties, and an unexpected bill never feels good. There's a psychological benefit as well as a budgetary benefit to avoiding this. So what's the goal? Here at EVO, we try to work with clients to get their tax planning as close to $0 as possible. Not a big refund, and definitely not a big payment. If you have questions for how we can help you get closer to zero, please reach out and let us know. As a reminder, this is why we ask for your tax return every year, so we can include this in our tax planning and help you maximize your tax picture and feel comfortable each April 15th. Now I'm going to turn it over to Associate Planner Cecilia Fleming to give you a little bit more information about our Medicare event coming up in May.
Thanks, Stephen. We're excited to host our first client event in over 2 years next month. Medicare expert Brian Gay is joining us in person at our new office, but we'll have a virtual option too. Many of you have used Brian as a resource when transitioning to Medicare. He'll be here to answer any questions you have on Medicare in general, upcoming transitions to Medicare from an employer plan at retirement, and the annual enrollment process for those of you already on Medicare. Keep an eye out for our invitation in the coming weeks. We're looking forward to seeing you then.
Well, that's about all the time we have this month. We hope you enjoyed our video as much as we did making it. See you next month. Take care.
Bye.